Hello, dear students. Myself Pratibha Hingole, and we are learning Pillars of Democracy. Page number 38, last paragraph. See, we already have seen the story which is explained, right? So, here, what we have seen, there was so little solidarity. What is solidarity? Unity, ekjutta, in the USA at the time when this incident occurred, means when this incident happened, that the people of India did not think that they were a nation. So, at the time of the incident described in the USA, means if the people of United States could not feel that they were a nation, how difficult it is for the Indians to think that they are a nation. So, at the time of the incident described in the USA, people in America felt very little solidarity, very little unity. They did not see themselves as one nation. So, this shows that creating a sense of nationhood is difficult, and especially in a country with many diverse groups. मीन्स वॉट, अमेरिका जैसा बड़ा देश जो बहुत ही ज़्यादा प्रोग्रेसिव है, इफ़ पीपल इन दैट कंट्री आर थिंकिंग लाइक दिस, तो इंडिया जहाँ पे बहुत ज़्यादा डाइवर्सिटी है, डिफरेंट कास्ट, क्रीड, रिलीजन, कलर, background means social background, okay, rich, poor. So out of these, this shows that creating a sense of nationhood is difficult, especially in a country with many diverse groups. India is also very diverse, different religions, languages, caste, regions. So it is even more challenging for Indians to feel a common national identity. Then I remember the days when politically minded Indians resented the expression, the people of India. They preferred the expression, the Indian nation. I am of the opinion that in believing that we are a nation, we are cherishing a great delusion, that is a mistaken idea. In the past, many politically aware Indians resisted the idea of calling themselves the people of India because they identified more with local regions, more with local communities, more with local languages than with the nation as a whole. And they feel I'm Maharashtrian, I'm Gujarati, I'm Malayalam, but they are not means than thinking as an Indian. So here it's a lesson for democracy, fraternity, that is sense of brotherhood and unity, is essential for a strong democratic society, but it takes effort to develop among diverse populations, right? So fraternity equal to unity plus solidarity among citizens. It is hard to achieve, especially in diverse countries like India. Right? Now, how people divided into several thousands of castes be a nation. The sooner we realize that we are not as yet a nation in the social and psychological sense of the word, the better for us. Democracy depends not just on laws but also on citizens' feeling a sense of belonging and brotherhood. Means here the means Dr. Ambedkar, he says that I can also make a very simple 3-line version of this passage. Okay, in past many Indians preferred the term Indian nation. The term the Indian nation rather than the people of India, emphasizing national identity. However, some thinkers believed that calling India a nation was an illusion because India was extremely diverse. India had thousands of castes, multiple religions, languages, and cultures, so which made it hard to feel a single national identity. मतलब इतनी ज़्यादा डाइवर्सिटी होते हुए भी मीन्स if you feel that it should be a nation, then it is not possible because of the diversity. That's what some people are thinking. The highlights the change of fraternity. Developing a sense of unity and brotherhood in a country with so much diversity. Right? The sooner we realize that we are not as yet a nation in the social and psychological sense of the word, but the better for us. For then only we shall realize the necessity of becoming a nation and seriously think of ways and means of realizing the goal. The realization of this goal is going to be very difficult, or more difficult than it has been in the United States. Because in our India, too much diversity is there, that we already have seen. The United States has no caste problem. In India, there are castes. The castes are anti-national. Means it works against a nation and try to divide it. In the first place, because they bring about separation in social life. They are anti-national also because they generate jealousy and antipathy between caste and creed. But we must overcome all these difficulties if we wish to become a nation in reality. For fraternity can be a fact only when there is a nation without fraternity, equality, and liberty. Will be no deeper than coats of paint. Now, again, let's see what is given here, what is mentioned here. So, this passage says that इंडियंस आर नॉट येट अ ट्रू नेशन, मतलब अभी तक नेशन, पूरा नेशन जो है, वी कांट कंसिडर इट एज अ ट्रू नेशन, not just politically but socially and psychologically as well. This means that although India is a country, right? India is a country, people do not yet feel fully united as one nation. Means it's not in the heart of the people that they did not feel fully this country as united, as one nation, because of differences in caste, religion, language, and culture. Differences are there, and for that reason, it just makes them separate from each other. Recognizing this reality is important, because only then what happen? Uh, Only then can Indians understand the need of national unity. Means reality pehchano, and then only you can understand the importance of nationality. Once we understand the problem, we can seriously think of the ways to become a true nation. First, प्रॉब्लम को समझो और फिर बाद में उसका सॉल्यूशन निकालो, लाइक दैट. Fostering fraternity and solidarity among all citizens means we can say that accepting that we are not yet a united nations is the first step towards national unity. पहले समझो कि हम we are not at all a united nation. First we understand the problem, and then it become very easy for us to solve that. Democracy requires effort to build fraternity, so citizens feel a sense of brotherhood and work together. Achieving national unity and fraternity in India will be very difficult. नेशनल यूनिटी एंड फ्रैटर्निटी एक साथ में लाना इंडिया में एक ऐसा है, बहुत ही डिफ़िकल्ट है. इट इज़ इवन हार्डर than it was in the United States, because the USA did not have a caste system, but in India caste create divisions among people and make it difficult for everyone to feel like one nation. बहुत सारे differences है, बहुत सारे क्या है, we can say casteism is there, means different divisions are there, and only because of this India cannot become it's a problem that India is not a nation. Some thinkers even considered caste to be anti-national. Why? Because they prevent social solidarity and weaken the sense of brotherhood. In short, we can say that fraternity is essential for democracy, bandhuta. But in India, the caste system makes it especially challenging to create unity and solidarity among citizens. Caste are considered anti-national for two main reasons. And what are those reasons? First one, they create divisions in social life, preventing people from feeling united. They generate jealousy and hostility, dushmani, between different caste and religion, which weakens social harmony. So these divisions, what happen? That these divisions make it hard to develop fraternity in the society, a sense of brotherhood, a sense of unity, which is essential for a strong democracy. We can see caste and religious differences, religious divisions divide the society and weaken national unity, making it difficult
to build a true democratic fraternity in India. But we must overcome all these difficulties if we wish to become a nation in reality. Means, if we have decided that we want to be a nation, then it's possible for us to overcome from all these kind of difficulties. Fraternity can be a fact only when there is a nation. Fraternity possible है when अगर हम एकजुट होके नेशन अगर बनाएंगे along with equality and liberty. Nation will be there, but in that nation equality and liberty will be there. Otherwise, we will be no deeper than mere codes on paper. नहीं तो क्या है, हम बोलेंगे हम एक है, but in reality nothing is there. So it means everything is there only on paper, है ना? So otherwise we will be no deeper than mere codes on paper. Despite of divisions like caste, religion and language, India must overcome these challenges to become a true nation. Fraternity, that is brotherhood, can only exist if it is accompanied by equality and liberty. हाँ, fraternity जो है, what is given here, fraternity can exist, but with that equality and liberty also should be there. So these are all three essential pillars of democracy. Without these values, democracy will remain just words on paper, not a living reality in society. To be a real nation, India must practice fraternity, equality and liberty, not just talk about them. Overcoming social conditions, social divisions, and essential for a strong democracy. Right? So, here we have completed pillars of democracy. Now, let's start with a poem, The Planners. The Planners. It's the last poem in your textbook. Boy Kim Ching. Boy Kim Ching is the name of the poet. His birth is given over here. Born in 1965. Is a Singapore-born Australian poet whose birth कहाँ पे हुआ था उसका? सिंगापुर में. Singapore born and by origin he is Australian. But he is of Chinese descent. Okay, he is of Chinese descent. Chinese descent means what? His parents, grandparents are Chinese. He is widely regarded as one of the most promising Singapore poets to emerge in the 1990s. So, ये जो poet है, he emerged in 1990s and became one of the most promising Singapore poets, one of the most famous one. Boy has published 4 collection of poetry. उसने 4 collection of poetry जो है वो publish किए थे. For his artistic achievement, so whatever artistic achievement he has, he received the National Arts Council Young Artist Award in 1996. ये award उसको मिला. He taught for 13 years at the University of Newcastle in Australia. In 13 years तक what happened that he has just taught in this university. And in 2016 he joined Nanyang Technological University as an associate professor. Means he changed his job, he switched his job. He it's school his of humanities and is currently head of English department. Means now currently he is working in this university. So he is the co-editor of the anthology Contemporary Asian Australian Poets, published in 2014. See, here the word anthology is used. Anthology means the collection of works, poems, novels, short stories, whatever. So he was the co-editor of anthology and the name of it is Contemporary Asian Australian Poets, published in 2014. Boy's works are highly regarded by both the academic and writing communities. दोनों ने क्या किया? They recognize it and highly regarded it, appreciate it. In Singapore. Now the second paragraph is about the poem. First is about the poet's introduction. Let's continue with the second part of the introduction. The poet begins the poem by stating what the pillars do. Pillars means the contractors, pillars means the architects, what they do. तो वहाँ से ये राइटर जो है, पोएट जो है, वो पोएम स्टार्ट करता है. As the poem proceeds means moves ahead. As the poet moves ahead, then what happened? We come to know how the planners achieve their aim for. मतलब जो कुछ उन्होंने डिसाइड किया है तो वो किस तरीके से वो फुलफिल करते हैं. That's we can see here. Towards the end of the poem, the poet shows how the planning has affected the poet. How the planning has affected the poet. What is the result? Boy is talking about fast developing modern Singapore because he has seen the development and what are the drawbacks of it. Even he knows it very well. So he just want to talk on the drawbacks. So fast developing modern Singapore. He laments, means says very sadly, on the disturbing and loss of human element in his surrounding. He can see, he can feel the difference. क्या था? बहुत ही दुख के साथ में वो क्या बोलता है? On the disturbing and loss of human element. Means now people are not at all interested in what is going on in the life of others. Means not at all interested in helping them. So in his surroundings he saw that. So he became nostalgic. Means what? Started dreaming about the past, about his childhood, है ना? सपने देखने लगता है. about his bonding with the old city. जो bonding था उसका old city के साथ में. So he started thinking about the same. We all here can hear the echoes of his words. हमको उसके echoes जो है वो सुनाई देते हैं. In कहाँ गया? Echoes of his word in our own hearts. दिल में ही सुनाई देते हैं. We come across such modernization, means whenever we see such modernization around us, then what happened? Then we feel the feeling, means actually we are experiencing the same feeling which the poet has, है ना. मतलब जैसे कोई पुरानी चीज़ों से या फिर पुरानी जगहों से जो लगाव होता है हमारा, मॉडर्नाइजेशन की वजह से क्या हो गया? एवरीथिंग हैज़ चेंज्ड एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट हैपन, व्हाट हैपन दैट दिस थिंग गोइंग टू हर्ट अस. ठीक है. सो वी कम अक्रॉस सच मॉडर्नाइजेशन अराउंड अस. मतलब जब कभी हम हमारे आजू बाजू भी क्या करते हैं, दिस काइंड ऑफ मॉडर्नाइजेशन वी सी, सो देन ड्यूरिंग दैट टाइम वी हैड द सेम फीलिंग. We may sympathize with the poet. हाँ, हम क्या कर सकते हैं? पोइट को सिंपैथी दे सकते हैं. When he declares, जब वो डिक्लेयर करता है at the end of the poem that the harsh realities of modernization have numbed his heart. मतलब उसके हार्ट को ये जो मॉडर्नाइजेशन है, जैसे इस चीज़ ने उसके हार्ट को बंद कर दिया एकदम. मतलब फील होना बंद हो गया है. ठीक है. द फ्री वर्स फॉर्म ऑफ द पोएम इज सुटेबल टू द फ्री एक्सप्रेशंस ऑफ द पोएट्स फीलिंग. मीन्स हियर no rhyming words are there, because here the poet has written this poem in free verse. Now let's see line by line. Let's see line by line. They plan, they build. The poet describes the planners, the architects who designed the city very carefully. Everything is planned in advance rather than happening naturally. सब कुछ प्लानिंग के साथ में होता है. All spaces are gridded, filled with permutations of possibilities. The spaces in the city are divided into grids, streets, blocks and plots. ठीक है. And permutations of possibilities shows that every space is used efficiently but in a mechanical and calculated way. मतलब हर एक जगह, हर एक कोना अच्छी तरीके से यूज़ किया गया है, but here mechanically these things are managed and each and every gap is filled up. ठीक है. Next line. The buildings are in alignment with the roads which meet at desired points. So the city is perfectly organized with buildings and streets placed exactly according to the plan. जो प्लानिंग होता है उसी हिसाब से बिल्डिंग्स बनाई जाती है, उसी हिसाब से वहीं से रास्ते जाते हैं. मीन्स परफेक्टली ऑर्गेनाइज्ड. सो दिस रिफ्लेक्ट्स the order, the control, the artificiality, means all these things leaving little room for natural randomness or organic growth. Means we can say that the poem criticizes over the planned urban spaces that are rigid and lifeless. Everything is mechanical. The planners work in precise and efficient. Precisely, efficiently they are working. But because of this, what happened? The city loses its natural beauty. The city loses its natural spontaneity. It reflects the poet's concern about modern urbanization. है ना, मॉडर्न हो रहा है सब कुछ, urbanization is there, but it just affects on the natural nature of the city. And the lack of freedom in structured city life, right? So all these things just affect. Linked by bridges. Linked by bridges all hang. The buildings and the cities are connected. The buildings and the city spaces are connected. Linked means connected in a precise and organized way, like bridges linking parts of a network. So here the poet want to suggest a rigid and controlled structure hanging together by design. Right? In the grace of mathematics, they build and will not stop. So this city is constructed according to strict mathematical and geometric rules. मतलब हर एक जो mathematical calculations है, geometric rules है, according to that the construction is done, showing order and permutations. And these planners are relentless. They keep building without pause, means continuous, they are working hard. They keep building without pause, following calculations and plans. Whatever calculations and plans they have done, according to that they continuously do their work. Even the sea draws back and the skies surrender. See what is mentioned here. Even the sea draws back and the skies surrender. Nature itself seems to yield to the human-made order. The sea and the skies are metaphorically subdued by the planner's control. Means everything is under control by these planners. The highlights the overpowering dominance of human planning over natural life. Means everything is according to the planning, everything is according to the mathematical calculations, and because of that what happened, that human made order and the sea and the skies, these are just the metaphor which are used here, the figure of speech. Means everything is under control. Everything is under control of these planners. They erase the flaws. So every imperfection and irregularity, जहाँ कहीं पे भी कमी है, every imperfection and irregularity in the natural or existing landscape is removed and corrected. Removed or corrected मतलब जहाँ कहीं पे भी गलतियाँ है, ओके, imperfection है, so what they do, they just correct it. This emphasizes artificial perfection, how they are perfect means their work perfection, leaving the city mechanical and lifeless. But no life is there, no nature is there. They are not thinking about all these things, but they are mechanically doing their work. The poet criticizes over planned cities where order and mathematics dominate, nature and spontaneity are subdued. Means it is just decreasing. What happened? Only because of these planners, जहाँ पे ऑर्डर्स और मैथमेटिक्स जो है वो डोमिनेट करते हैं, मीन्स वो रूल करते हैं, मीन्स वो फॉलो किए जाता है, और जहाँ पे नेचर और स्पॉन्टिनिटी जो है इट इज़ सबड्यूड, एंड ऑल नेचुरल ब्यूटी or irregularity is erased. So the poet warns about the cold mechanical nature of modern urban planning. The modern urban planning. The blemishes in the past. The blemishes in the past knock off useless blocks with dental dexterity. All gaps are plumbed. So here what's given? The blemishes of the past knock off useless blocks with dental dexterity. The planners remove all imperfections or outdated structures from the city. Dental dexterity is a metaphor used here, suggesting the precision or skill like a dentist carefully removing teeth. So it shows that every flaw or every irregularity is eliminated in a mechanical and calculated way. Just like a doctor, just like a dentist, remove the decayed tooth. Okay. In the same way, whatever is imperfect, whatever is outdated, so these planners, they just replace it, they just remove it. Right? All gaps. All gaps are plumbed. Means all empty spaces or all irregularities are measured, are filled and adjusted perfectly. The city becomes completely uniform. The city becomes completely controlled, leaving no natural gaps or spontaneity. So what happened that the planners eradicate the past flaws with skill and precision. So here the poem criticizes this mechanical perfection, showing how modern planning removes character, how modern planning removes irregularity, how modern planning removes natural beauty from cities.
with gleaming gold. The country wears perfect rows of shining teeth. The city is described again metaphorically as wearing artificial perfection, like a mouth with flawless teeth, golden teeth. So, this shows the mechanical and unnatural beauty exposed by planners. Everything is perfect but lifeless. Right? Now, anesthesia, amnesia, hypnosis. Important. Anesthesia, amnesia, hypnosis. Meaning is already given here. What is anesthesia? A state of controlled temporary loss at sensation or awareness. Means whenever doctor has to do operation, operate someone, that time anesthesia is given. Amnesia, inability to remember events for a period of time. कुछ पल के लिए क्या हो जाता है कि याद नहीं रहता, amnesia. And hypnosis, everyone knows hypnotism. So hypnosis, a trance-like state with heightened focus and concentration. ठीक है? So anesthesia, amnesia and hypnosis. These words, all these three words, it suggests forgetting the past, amnesia, okay, and being mesmerized or controlled, means whatever new changes are done by planners. So what these planners does, the planners erase history, the planners erase individuality and making the city uniform and controlled. Okay, so till here we have completed our poem. We'll continue the same in our next online session. Till then, bye bye.